I said, this podcast is scarier than anything I've stabbed before. Shit, the podcast could take the place of the damn baby. The Wright Brothers. Hi.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Alright. Yo, what up? It's your boy Tommy D and S.A. Sam back with another episode of the Wright Brothers.
Nice. That was very smooth.
I know.
Well done.
I'm a smooth boy.
So, what we're gonna do today is...
We're doing some crazy shit.
We're gonna get a little experimental with things. Now, there's a computer that someone developed called, I think it's called Botnik, and it's basically a predictive text, but based on text that you give it. So we've combined all our stories into one file and uploaded that file to this bot. And then it'll give us a grid of words that are words that we've actually used to write our stories. We're going to go through and pick out the words during our hour that we normally write. So we're basically going to be creating with our old stories with the help of an AI.
And at the end, it's basically just going to be an amalgamation of all of our stories we've written up to this point.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But it's going to be exciting.
If it goes well, I'm thinking hey, would you want to do this once per season if it goes well?
If it goes well, because we'll have so much more content in another season to do that. Yeah, for sure. Oop, it's coffee time.
It's coffee time, boys. Which I finally brought my own mug so I can stop using Michael's.
Indeed.
Yeah. I don't know if you can read that, but Game of Thrones quote. Yeah.
Nice.
My sister bought me this mug. It's great mug.
Nice.
Great fucking mug.
So, I'll let you finish your thing in a second, but while I'm pouring the coffee at least, that's what you've been up to, man.
Let's see. Oh, well, I do have some, well, actually I have a lot of exciting news. Thursday, I am finally moving in. So,
Nice.
The next episode, we will probably be, if we have enough space, we'll be shooting over my new apartment from now on. Yeah.
That will be nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's exciting. And even bigger news, I set a world record. Well, not a world record, but
Wait, what?
Alright, so for the past few weeks, I have been speedrunning the game Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. And I submitted these speedruns, and I am now ranked 9th in the U.S. for
serious?
fastest Sekiro speedrun.
Dude, what the hell?
At 47 minutes.
What? 9th?
9th in the U.S.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Worldwide, I'm ranked 63 or something like that, but still, that's...
Dude, top 100 is still pretty crazy.
Yeah. And I've just been... I'm not really a big speedrunning guy, but something about speedrunning Sekiro is just so much fun because a lot of the gameplay is centered around just verticality and fast movement and bouncing off the walls so you can skip over certain bosses. It's a lot of fun.
Wow,
yeah.
dude, that's really cool.
Yeah,
damn, man,
I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
Proud.
So how many times have you run through this game at this point?
I think I have done 12 speedruns.
Okay,
and
wow, that's
my very first speedrun clocked in about 6 hours, which was that's not good at all. But my very next speedrun, I brought it down to 4 hours, which you take 2 hours off a speedrun. That's
pretty good, yeah.
But yeah, no, really proud of that.
Wow, man, that's awesome. I really love that. Huh.
Yeah, no, I'll put that on my resume.
Yeah.
So, what are your accomplishments? What are your accomplishments? I am ranked 9th in the U.S. Just in the U.S. of speedrunning Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Ah, that's so awesome, man! I gotta play that game soon,
dude. It's so dope.
I've been trying to figure. I want to play a game again, and I've been trying to figure out which one. I was talking to Michael about Pokemon a lot, so I thought maybe I'll just go through and play the originals, or maybe Gold and Silver. I never played Gold and Silver growing up, so maybe I'll play that. But then I thought of what I'm probably gonna do today, and that is a game called Chrono Trigger. Have you heard of that?
Dude, I fucking love Chrono Trigger. It is so good.
Yes. So I played it when I was 12.
Yeah, if I didn't have to work today, I would totally just sit here and watch you play that. Oh my God.
Yeah. I played it when I was 12, and I remember not really being good at strategy at the time. So I got pretty far. I think I got to the end, and then I stopped because I got stuck and I never went back to it. And I owe it to myself to play this game because I listen to that soundtrack. Like, every couple weeks I'll go back and find, like, an orchestral version of the soundtrack or, like, an electronic version of the soundtrack and listen to that, and it is so damn good.
Nice.
That sound, I don't know if you paid attention to the soundtrack. It is so good.
It's
love
one of
that.
Next to, there are a couple really good ones, but when it comes to just like that retro 8-bit music, you can't really beat Chrono Trigger.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, the very first album that I released when I was, like, 15, which is just shit. The last track on that, the one that I was the most proud of, was called World Map, because I wrote it based off of the theme when you open the world map, and that was so cool. So you know how the world map is like, you're like way zoomed out and you can see the clouds and stuff, and you're like looking down. They make the music like really like airy and spacey and distant, and then when you click on something, it like almost like zooms you back in, and the music's like back in your ear. But they like put it away from you to make you feel like you're actually
up in the air.
Yeah, and I thought that was so cool.
It's great, dude.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, anything else new with you?
I was at a studio in Columbus over the weekend recording 2 songs for my friend's new hip-hop rap project. 3 of us went up there. So one was the guy that wrote all the lyrics and everything. And then I wrote 1 beat, and then our other friend wrote the other beat. And so we did 2 over a 2-day weekend.
Yeah.
And they went really well. And man, those songs are going to be so fun. Like,
yeah,
they're just fun. They're fun. That's the best way to describe it. They're a ton of fun.
Yes. Not good fun. No, I've heard them. They're pretty good. Yeah,
admittedly, they are.
Some of the granted, some of the lyrics you guys intend to be funny make me want to absolutely kill myself.
Yeah, so the lyrics are kind of a tough one because a lot of people,
they're intended to be goofy. It's just like it hurts me.
Yeah, I think they're great. I can see how a lot of people get really frustrated. But I think the beats sound really good. Like, overall, I think production-wise they're very good and all that sort of stuff. So it's been fun. Been working on that for a while, so it's nice to actually have it completed. So yeah, good weekend. Getting through all that. Beyond that, I've started editing the Pokemon unboxing video.
It's gambling.
Yep.
Don't gamble unless you're me.
And then beyond that, just been finishing up Beats. I plan to open my Beats.
You finished beating me.
Yeah, exactly, with Beats. Beats, Battlestar Galactica.
Beats, Battlestar Galactica.
I've been watching a lot of The Office again, too.
No, when I walked in, he was watching The Office.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, dude, have you drank the coffee yet?
Oh, no, not yet.
All right, yeah, we got it.
Cheers, my boy.
Blap. Is it just me, or is that a lot hotter than usual?
It is a lot hotter than usual.
Yeah.
It was good.
It is good.
Also, I love that we
I don't think I can taste anymore.
I think perfectly in unison we both did. Like, I think it was like a perfect unison.
We're just that in sync because we're Wright brothers.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly
right.
it.
Exactly right.
That's exactly it. So, to get this AI working, we've had to combine all of our
stories.
All of our stories together into one file. So I was actually I can't remember how to do it, so I'm gonna have to check this again. But I was going to check because this will tell me how many words collectively I've written for the Wright Brothers project, which I think it would be a fascinating statistic. So I'm gonna figure out how to do that real quick. Oh, fine.
And here's something to keep in mind, guys. When you have written 16 or 17 stories, when you put them all together, it's really like kind of...
It's staggering.
Yeah.
It's insane. For example, I have written 14,278 words for the Wright Brothers.
Ugh.
And that's a chunk. That's 1 hour a week for 16 weeks now. Well, 15 weeks. Wait, did I just upload 16 or 15? No, I just did 16.
16, yeah. So this is 17.
So we're on 17, yeah. But for 16 weeks, written... so that's, a little less than 1,000 every week.
Wow.
Which is pretty good. Now, if I did that daily, think of how good I'd be now. If I did that daily, shoot.
Yeah, no. Don't get me thinking that's a lot of numbers, Sam.
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers. But even once a week, like doing writing casually, I think writing will just always be a nice casual thing for me because I don't plan on working in a field that requires me to write. Now, if I do, that's good. But for writing casually, I think this is like a good progression of my skill level, which is nice. But just looking at this is like crazy, seeing all these like little stories that are all so dense. Oh, I've got to add, I think I have to add one or two more, actually. I'm excited to do this.
Dude, it's going to be so great.
This project.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just edit it to, once we get it, we'll just start making the story. So when we come back,
we'll
have stories for you.
Yeah, we just recorded like maybe 5 minutes of just silence. So
yeah, don't worry, you won't have seen that though.
Will they?
I hope not.
I hope not. Yeah. All right, see you in a bit. All right.
So
welcome back.
This one took an interesting turn. Not an interesting turn. It's just weird. Like
I can guarantee both of the stories will be fucking weird.
I think we're gonna crack up, but it really was. It was hard to keep a narrative going.
Yeah, no,
I managed to do it a little bit.
There's some kind of fight. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I would love to like outline my story after. It's like, okay, it starts off like this, and then there's this, and then this, and try to outline it like a normal story. But there's just going to be all these oddball.
But at the same time, we can try to calm the madness. I only wrote 406. Well, I didn't even write. I got 464 words. I clicked 464 words into existence.
I did 479.
Damn. All right.
Well, okay. Now, first and foremost, how many words?
Oh, like with all
your stories, how many words have you written for this? I will also find that number.
13,579.
And I am collectively at 17,876.
Wow, how have you written 4,000 more words?
I don't know. I know you had some shorter stories, but I felt like you had some longer ones too. I don't know. And maybe you didn't get all.
Totally, I have written 24 pages.
Oh, I don't think mine gives me that.
Well, okay, think of that. That's like, you write a book, and you have to cut that number in half because it'll be on both sides. That's 12 full pages of a book.
That's a decent sized book.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. Not at all. But there are like 200 pages in the average book.
Well, I suppose that's true. Yeah. But it's only an hour a week, so that's really good for that.
Yeah.
All things considered. All right. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay.
This time.
Okay. The only thing that kept me in his pockets was a calculator. I was a good guy, and I figured this world was designed to help me. He knew about my thoughts and said exasperatedly, I decided that I want to explore the room. I knew that he would. I looked outside the kitchen window and began searching for the cookout. It was nowhere. Near my fists was some sort of criminal. He said, I'm going to get more sophisticated. I had to do the same. But things plagued my mind. Maybe I could, but then again, maybe I couldn't. After the man spotted something strange, I looked down. Something weird happened. Hell, I hope it would certainly have started to make my thoughts uneasy. I'd just like to add, it's so funny that this is exactly in my writing style. Like, this is how I sound normally, right? Like,
yeah,
in my stories. He awoke in darkness. He said ominously, I was born into dust. He looked around the universe and began crawling, and began running. But they quickly grabbed him. His robotic voice sounded extremely panicked. But he was quite panicked. He thought more about the apocalypse and saw Thomas around the room. But he said, do anything magical or they will make you read. I began administering a little syringe out of my mind, and I knew what I had to do. Eventually, I looked down at the ground until I could take a deep breath, then I muscled through the hallway and ran. I had never read closely into the conversation, but now my fists began moving. My head matched. I sounded like someone the creature completely. I didn't catch that. That doesn't make sense. I was uneasy and I stabbed...
Oh, that's the only thing that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I was uneasy and I stabbed the creature once. He carefully wished to be inspired, but then immediately caught my fists. That's such a good way to say punch someone. He caught my fists.
Oh, it's too early for this.
I walked into view. He said, I said I knew exactly what I wanted. Without this podcast, the creature stretched spastically like a spider. It was sick.
I assume that's what happens when all of you guys can't watch our videos.
Yeah. It was sick. I just walked fast. I decided to make the podcast, but I knew what it must have. The podcast host had to disappear. Their experiences are messing up the files.
Wait, Sam, is this an autobiography?
Personally, the podcast hosts are basically corrupt.
You know nothing, Sam.
I said, this podcast is scarier than anything I've stabbed before. Shit, the podcast could take the place of the damn baby.
What? That damn baby. What's the damn baby?
I don't know. I decided that I enjoyed painting, but this world was really starting to freak me out. After all, another robot producer stuck to the administration. It was about to go there and shift the podcast story. I love that the podcast has become the main thing. The blinding light shone bright on the bot, and everything changed. It began to shake up and down in the center of the grove. Quietly, I decided that once he was still, I could make sure. Maybe I should have been ripped. Shit, my own health would have certainly given me that. I said, I returned to make my future through the ages. I knew that I would never forget the podcast. I decided right then and there that something had to change.
Oh, shit.
And that's it. Shit. And that's it. What a wild ride.
The damn baby.
The damn baby. So I find it fascinating. It starts off silly, like with the podcast or the pockets and the calculator, and then I want to explore the room. And then near my fist was some sort of criminal. So I picture like a short criminal that's standing near my fist, and he says, I want to get more sophisticated. And then everything changes, and he awoke in darkness. And then says, I was born into dust. And then he's like crawling through this dark room, and then he sees Thomas, and you tell him to do anything magical, or they'll make you read. And then I get a syringe.
Out of your mind.
Out of my mind, because it's like magic. Then I run through the hallway, and then something attacks me, and I stab the creature, and then he caught my fists, and then it totally like that's like another set of time has passed, and then the whole podcast subplot.
I think that became the A plot.
And there's like a corrupt podcast that I'm gonna fix.
The part that got me was. It was scarier than anything I stabbed before. It could replace the damn baby.
Shit, the podcast could take the place of the damn baby.
The damn baby.
Yeah, that was fun. There's a weird narrative in there. Like if you made
it's in there somewhere. You got to dig for it.
Like we could almost take a story written like this and extract the narrative and make it a proper thing.
Yeah,
just a really abstract story.
Oh, dude,
that's fascinating. Anyway, let's hear yours.
All right. This is just fucking bad shit. It's crazy. The fuck was going on? My cigar began licking through me for life support. Jerry tried to kill me. Never felt more chocolate. That was odd. Something pounced on me from underneath the bed. It stood over 700 gallons.
Oh,
salty eyes, redder than woman.
What?
Arson was just weird. It went back and began licking my cigar. Sweat began to sweat, and he screamed something about Dan. Apparently I felt ashamed for killing homicide saws between today. This was weird. Sadly, it noticed my knife and gutted my knife. I pulled down my holochrome coins from work and began to find another cigar. Darla then came to kill it. But it was so beloved that I had to stop enjoying my holochrome coins and shot Sam back as I regained enslavement of our nipples.
Regained enslavement?
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to think about that.
I had to stop him. I ran outside to find another cigar. I felt something bite my hand. It was a kid getting bullied by a Catholic priest. I grabbed another pizza and began licking the stranger with razor-sharp speed. He screamed in pain.
Oh my gosh.
But then it came to kill him. Body parts violently bursted out of the blood. This was weird. Sadly, it was still beating marinara sauce for me. Thank buddy I heard science... Wait, what? I heard science streaming down the side of my house. Without life support. Jerry rode the knife with our lives on the narrative. I think I just, clicked things randomly.
Click through, yeah.
Hobgoblins were growing and turning up. Hopefully someone would report them. I was just murdered by the man. I felt something nip at my nose. I heard scratching coming from the ceiling, and I fucking died. Everyone rejoice. He just healed me for life. But it was still beating marinara sauce. None of us had the guts to beat it. He was tall for my cigar. Wait, what? Tall for... This doesn't make any sense. Breaking it was going to be chaos. Only since I was going to hurt the man, Dale follows my pitch. My mind rambling. I grabbed another pizza rabbit and began to communicate amongst him. Hope they all stopped for a bathroom. Hope they all stopped for a bathroom.
I did. It's a good thing to do sometimes.
Dale tried to storm me, but I was angry and ran back upstairs to kill another goat. Dozens of glowing yellow hats have been punched by my hand. I heard Bailey bite the door. Binoculars. I had to stop being a deer with a savage fifth cookie. He had slipped on blood and began to cry. It was still beating my cigar and loading up another pizza. Dale was wearing water from underneath the arms of Pop-Tarts. It was so greedy and hot. I pulled out my holochrome gun and shot the pony from last night. Barry again puked up the sauce. I ran to find another pizza from the mattress. I had never wanted pizza, but I was gonna eat this before Dale loses my cigar. Is that it?
All right.
Was that it? I felt like there was more. No,
nope,
that was
it. Wow.
What in the ass was that?
Dude, that was wild. What a weird thing. I really think, though, practical applications of this, I really think it would be interesting to take, a completed story like this and rewrite it as a proper thing. Just using the outline.
Because I think in my head, I was battling a creature in this.
Okay.
And, there were people, gathering around trying to help me and, kill me at the same time.
Okay.
That's what was going on in my head.
It'd be interesting to hear, your interpretation of it. Because, I had a whole thing in my head, too, that I'm sure doesn't
Only yours was
as
much
well.
more cohesive.
I did spend a lot of time trying to get cohesion there between things. But, yeah, that was weird. That was kind of fun, though, man.
I regained enslavement of our nipples. I hate everything.
Well, that was fun. That was unique.
We definitely need to try doing this again sometime.
Yeah, I think we should do this again, and I think it'd be cool to write something from these sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see.
We will.
We have a lot of ideas for this show.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's good. That's a good thing to have.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah, man.
All right.
This is Mickey Mouse coming at you live from Disney World.
Okay.
And I don't know what I'm doing right now.
I don't either.
I'm grasping at straws. Sam, help me.
Anything we got. Well, as always,
as per usual, this has been the Mickey
the
Mouse
Wright
Show.
Brothers.
Good night, everybody.
All right.